morning, everyone, teachers, parents, fellow partners. Today we're talking about science. But why science? Well, I'm inspired by the biological world, the diversity. And talking about diversity, there is nothing more diverse than the products of evolution. The functionality, the beauty of the biological world has inspired me today's presentation. Did you know that more than 100,000 tons of pharmaceuticals are consumed globally every year? During their manufacture, use, and disposal, many chemical ingredients, as well as other pharmaceutical ingredients, are released into the environment, in the air, the water, and the soil. And most of these chemical ingredients are non-organic catalyzers, which are used in chemical reactions to speed them up. That's why it's so important to raise awareness on the levels of contamination that non-organic catalyzers generate, and on the necessity of start creating products in a sustainable, efficient, and eco-friendly way. In this sense, the use of bio-catalyzers is a very important step ahead, and the best bio-catalyzers are found in nature, and these are called enzymes. Let's start at the beginning. At the very beginning of life on our planet, life appeared on Earth more than 3.5 million years ago on the form of unicellular organisms that laterly became multicellular organisms, and that laterly and finally became primitive animal forms. From that point, we have gone all the way until our days. And the real question here is, how has this happened? How have we gone from the very simple to the extremely complex? In very broad terms, we can say it has been a matter of time, a very long time, and a matter of survival. But now, in detail, this has happened due to evolution by natural selection, which was first proposed by Charles Darwin, a very famous scientist that came to the Galapagos Islands, and here, through observation, noticed that many specimens of birds were essentially the same, but they differ in some characteristics, like the shape and size of their beaks. Something which Charles concluded happened due to the different environmental conditions each of these specimens were facing in the islands of the archipelago. Natural selection is essentially a mechanism through which living organisms develop certain favorable traits in response to the stimulus of the environment, and which allow them to survive long enough to reproduce and pass these traits, which assure survival, onto their offspring. Let's take a very easy example. If there is extreme change in the weather conditions of Earth, animals must develop the characteristics to answer appropriately to these changing conditions. Otherwise, they will die. It's as simple as that. Now, we have to remember that this process has been completely led by nature. Right now, we are not going that back in time, but very deep into nature, to the very building blocks of life. We're talking about biomolecules. There are 4 biomolecules: carbohydrates, lipids, proteins, and nucleic acids. These 4 made up every living organism on this planet. And today, we're centering our attention in only one out of these 4 biomolecules: proteins. As was already said, proteins are biomolecules. These are made of monomers called amino acids. There are 20 types of amino acids, and these form different combinations between them to form different proteins. These combinations are coded by DNA. DNA is also a biomolecule. Proteins are very important. They make up the structure of living organisms. They are part of our immune system. They carry substances within our body, and they intervene in chemical reactions, which makes me remember, today we're not talking about proteins. Today we're talking about a specialized type of proteins, enzymes. Enzymes are proteins that perform catalytic functions. What does this mean? That they intervene in chemical reactions, speeding them up. This sounds quite important, right? It is. Let's take our body as a simple example. When we consume food inside our organism, digestive enzymes start working to break big, complex molecules into simpler and simpler substances so our body can assimilate them. Now, in this graph, you can see how enzymes work. They work a little bit like a puzzle. Why? Because the enzyme has a part which is known as the active site. The active site contains DNA, and this DNA has to match with the DNA of the substances that will be catalyzed. Otherwise, nothing happens. They have to fit. Then we have the enzyme and the substance. The substance enters in the enzyme, and the enzyme starts working to break this complex molecule down into simpler products, which are then released. Despite the characteristics of natural enzymes, these haven't been able to participate and catalyze artificial reactions led by science and industry. And this has caused introduction of non-organic catalyzers, which are substances that also intervene in chemical reactions, speeding them up. But after many years of usage, these non-organic catalyzers represent three big problems to humanity and nature. The first one is costs. These non-organic catalyzers are very expensive. The second one is that, especially in processes involving very complex molecules, rare enzymes are required, which need to be extracted from air, generating an immediate impact on the environment. And the last one is that these non-organic catalyzers, when intervening in chemical reactions, can leave wastes, which contaminate products and thus reduce its final quality. This has motivated, both for environmental and economic reasons, the development of green chemistry due to her lifetime pioneer and innovative work, which is directed evolution. Directed evolution is a protein engineering method that imitates Darwinian evolution using repeated procedures and screening in order to accumulate performance-enhancing mutations. Researchers have used directed evolution to improve the activities and selectivities of enzymes under reaction conditions, which include changes in temperature, light intensity, pH, and solvent concentration, including many other artificial factors. There's a very interesting story behind Frances Arnold and directed evolution. At the beginning of her career, Frances Arnold, just as many other professionals in the field of protein engineering, believed that the science and technology of that time was able to imitate the creating capabilities of nature, which was incorrect, something that she found out by herself many years later, after many failures. And so she decided that instead, it was better to approach any improvement in the field of protein engineering, starting in nature, and with its already existing products. And this is the very base of directed evolution. To take an already existing natural enzyme with desirable characteristics that can be improved in laboratories with science and technology and under the reaction conditions I just mentioned. Here we have two reactions, which involve two enzymes that have been protein engineered by directed evolution. The first one is artificial aldolase, and it is worked out by enzyme catalysis, enamine catalysis, sorry. On the right side, we can find the engineered enzyme, and in this case, the enzyme helps these two substances to mix together. Then we have the second reaction, which is protease, which is worked out by Bronsted acid catalysis. In this case, the enzyme, which is again on the right side of the picture, helps the single substance to rearrange its structure. After many experiences in the field of protein engineering by directed evolution, scientists have identified some common points most procedures share. The first one is time, the very short time that it takes for an enzyme to be improved in its activities and selectivities by directed evolution. It usually takes just a few rounds of directed evolution, each one taking between 1 and 2 weeks, which is relatively a short amount of time. to get improved enzymes. And the second one is promiscuity. Yes. Scientists have identified that some enzymes are catalytically promiscuous. What does this mean? That these enzymes are able to catalyze reactions other than their native ones. And this happens because these enzymes have a broader substrate acceptance. These catalytically promiscuous activities have been considered a good starting point for directed evolution. Through directed evolution, substrate acceptance of many enzymes has been expanded, and product selectivity has been altered and optimized. Far more than that, directed evolution has made it possible that natural enzymes intervene in artificial processes, in non-natural activities, which was not possible in the past for biochemical synthesis. The field of protein engineering has entered a vast gold mine of new biocatalytic possibilities. And for sure, creativity will play a major role in the discovery and exploitation of these remarkable biological resources. Biocatalysis offers a sustainable and efficient route for making the materials we need, helping the industry by reducing costs and reducing steps in manufacturing. At the time, minor quantity of wastes is released into the environment and contaminating nature. In the past, processes had to fit the requirements of already existing enzymes. Right now, we can take the power of evolution, which is a process that has always been led by nature, in our hands, to improve, through science and technology, already existing chemical substances, to benefit both nature and humanity. Thank you for your attention.